There's the word. Right? That's the word, right? There, um, that's the word. Let me make sure. See, this is the thing with my brain. There's way too many words in here, and um, I don't know what to do about it. And it was what Britney Spears was under. Yeah, no, it's a conservatorship. I knew it was along those lines. So she was put on that because of all the bullshit that was going on with her health concerns, her mental health, and all that. So they put her on that. And then, same thing with fucking Amanda Bynes. She was having the same issues mentally. She was like fucking. Sorry for laughing. It's not a laugh. It is, but it isn't. When she was saying she wanted to fuck Drake. That was a situation. Um, so conservationship. Damn these words. I have such a hard time sometimes. And I even in my speech class in college and I was getting my associates, I took communication and speech. And I was like, I have a really hard time pronunciating things. And she's like, you can take this course. And I was like, oh, okay. But I felt like it was mostly people who was like ESL. And am I ESL? Anyhow. All right. So I really think that conservationship. Boom. Got it. Oh, I just try to do it just to get it right. So he's being a harassing ex, and it's not cool at all. Like this poor woman, even though I don't care for her too much, she does not deserve this. Pete Davidson doesn't deserve this. And people are like attacking her and saying, well, now that she's divorced, now she can go and fuck everybody else. And it's like, whoa, how long have these guys have been married? For like 10 years? And like, why are you guys talking? Like she became famous over something that was inappropriate for a lot of people to think. But, she was with that dude Ray J for like a long time, and people are just assholes, and they treat women horribly. And it's the women saying this as well. Women are also being in this conversation saying shit about her and not promoting her as a human. She's human, she's a woman, and women are talking shit about her and saying the same things that men are saying. And it's like, who gives a shit about this? What we need to be worried about is she's being harassed by an ex. And I know Trevor Noah did this beautiful. If you haven't seen it, go and look at Trevor Noah's spiel on it. He did an amazing job about it a couple days ago, and then Kanye got wind of it and fucking went on a racist rant and said some slurry words. And so now Conway Twitty Kanye, god damn, Kanye is uh has a ban for 24 hours, which is ending sometime today. From Instagram because of his racial slurs. Like, this dude seriously needs help and nobody is doing anything about it. Think about this. When Adele was getting drunk and tweeting and Instagramming, her team took her away her freaking password, changed the password, and was like, we need to control this because she's drunk and being crazy. Well, not crazy, don't use that word. She's drunk and being ridiculous. So they took away her Instagram until she was able to act appropriately as an adult, as a human. And she quit drinking and took care of herself. So that's good, but she still drinks, but not like she was before. So, all right. So why isn't anybody taking away Kanye's Instagram, Facebook, or whatever the fuck, Twitter, you know? So it's unfair because if anybody else was doing it, it's because he has the money. So that's why they're not doing it, I feel. But thankfully, Instagram fucking stood up and Metaverse blocked his ass and from posting for the next 24 hours, which is ending today. But it's not cool at all. So I'm going to take a quick break. One moment. All right. So with the breaks, so if I say I'm taking a break, I do take a break, but then I forget to go in and edit it and put the breaks in where they're supposed to be in my editing. So I'm working on remembering that. So let's hope that I can remember this time. Because I go through a little process here where I record from my phone with these beautiful work headphones that I have with the speaker, the headphones and the mic and all that, and then I upload it from my phone, and then I go in and I go to edit the commercials, the ads after I do it, but then sometimes I forget to go and do it. So the other day I was like, I'm taking a break, and I was like re-listening to the podcast. I was like, shit, there was supposed to be a break there, and then the break comes like 5-10 minutes later, so I had to go in and edit it. So when I say I'm taking a break, I am taking a break, and I need to remember to go in and edit the breaks. So that's a little side note, which has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but so yeah. So if anybody else was doing it, they would be getting arrested. They would have something going against them. I really feel that they need to pass. I just saw pass because I got a notification. The House passes bill to suspend normal trade relations with Russia. So that's what's going on right now. And I know that I said I was going to discuss what's going on because everybody else is discussing it. And I know that all of us are seeing it every day, and I just want us to have a break from that. So that's what I, want us to be, is a break from all that. Okay, hold on. I got tangled somehow. Somehow got tangled. I'm so special. Anyhow, so we're going to discuss this. Abuse. It could be any time of there's so many types of abuse, and it's usually because somebody has power. So did you know that there's 7 times in that, or seven times types of abuse? There's physical, sexual, emotional, or psychological, neglect, abandonment, financial, and self-neglect. So there's 7 different forms. And you could even go into more. There's more. You could add 4 more in, like modern slavery and organizational or institutional abuse. Like, we could go in deep, but we're not going to go deep. We'll just do the main 4. And the main 4 are physical, sexual, emotional, and physical, emotional, sexual, and neglect, exploitation. So I am taking a class right now. I think I've discussed this before. I'm taking a course, and it is human trafficking. And we discuss modern slavery, which is us having to have jobs because we have to be alive, because we have to live in a house, and we have to do all this. So we are forced to have to do this. Okay. So we're not going to talk about modern slavery, but I just wanted to say this because we do go into also physical, domestic, all these other kind of abuses, sexual, psychological, emotional. Also, because I take these classes, psychology classes, I do read a lot of cases, and my sex crimes classes and my criminal justice part of my degree. I do So I do have knowledge, and this is something that I feel that I could talk about. And I've also had experience by being in relationships that were emotionally, sexually, never physically, but it was sexually, emotionally, financially. So I've never been physically abused, but out of the four major types, I've gotten three done to me. And to admit that is really hard. But for the past 5 years, I've been having to promote an awareness of this because a lot of people, especially in same-sex relationships, just disregard it. And so I have been in relationships with women who have withheld sex because they were mad at me. They stayed in a relationship with me, but didn't want to be with me, and still were. So that was emotionally and sexually abusive because they were withholding sex, and they can say that it is not, but it is by terms, definitions, by law, by everything you can think of. Like, this is real shit, and they can think that it isn't something serious because they think that they have every right. But when it's damaging somebody else, yes, I'm not gonna fucking see. This is how there's this thin line here, because the modern warrior in Chelsea. Oh man, so there's this thin line between, and this also blurry line and all this other stuff. But never have I ever forced anybody or anything of those sorts to where, you know, for sex, because I am not going to be begging for something like that. I bring it up in conversation and be like, this is what's going on. Like, something's wrong. Can you talk to me? And then they'd lie. So, that is a sexual abuse. Withholding sex is sexual abuse where you do not, where you withhold sex. It is, I don't know how to explain it. Let me get more information real quick before I go on with this conversation. One moment. All right. Thank you for waiting patiently for me on that commercial break, if there was one, which I will put in. Remember to put in a commercial break. All right. Just little notes to myself. 28 minutes in. Commercial. Look at me. Because I'm not going to remember. All right. Withholding sex is not sexual abuse. It is a form of emotional abuse. I do apologize for what I said before. Withholding sex to punish your partner is a form of emotional abuse. To be completely clear, it is okay to tell your partner you don't want to have sex, but to tell them you won't have sex with them because they have done something wrong can be considered abusive if done repeatedly. So I was in a relationship where that happened, where I brought it up to them and I said, how come that when we are having sex, it is only one-sided? And they said, because I'm mad at you for what you did. What? Also, withholding sex is grounds for a divorce from what I know. Sexual intimacy heals couples that have been hurt by each other and allows them to be reconciled. And then the alternative is divorce. That's the choice facing couples in this situation. Is it okay to withhold sex in a marriage? Sexual avoidance or disinterest has feelings of self-exposure and judgment. Both partners can feel confused, rejected, resentful. Repairing sexual withholding means opening up a discussion. So, that is a form of abuse, is withholding sex. It's emotional abuse. And no one can tell a person how they are feeling and the situation is definitely the way that they see it. You can't be like telling somebody